Hello everyone, you're welcome back to the class where we look at some texts and also poems recommended for the students writing Wase Neko in West Africa. So we have started the discussion on the Bats, one of the recommended poem for the students. So I started the discussion on the background of the poet and of the poem. Now on this channel, we want to look at the foregrounding notes on the poem. What do we need to discuss under here? Let's continue and see what it looks like. Here we have features. That is, under the foregrounding notes on this poem, we need to examine the following: structure of the poem, setting of the poem, subject matter of the poem, and form of the poem. So this will be under the discussion, but it will be noted alongside as I'm explaining the points. Features or the structure of the poem. The poem Bat is composed as a 45 lines poem made up of run-on lines. When we say run-on lines, another name for it is enjambment. So also we have verbless clauses. That is, clauses without verbs as used in the poem. Also, we have phrases and single words. When you read the lines of the poem, you'll probably or certainly observe what I just said in the poem. The lines of single words in the poem are in lines 8, 27, 34, 38, and 43 respectively. That is, phrases and single words. So the lines of single words are the ones that I listed recently. Single words as used in the poem. We have them, one in line 8, another one in line 27, line 34, line 38, line 43. You can see, check the poem and see it. So also, each of the lines is either an exclamation of disgust feeling, something irritating, or rhetorical question on bats. It is evident in line 25 that we have a verbless clause, and I will give you an instance where we have never swallow. That is seen in line 25 of the poem, which can be fully written as they are never swallows. You can see that. So it is called a verbless clause, never swallow. But if you are to what? Write in full, then we have they are never swallows, referring to the particular bird called swallow. Also, in line 29 of the poem is a phrase, I quote, by De Ponte Fercio. That is seen in line 29. Another one is, the poem has 45 lines, as I said, and they are structured into 3 organic or major parts, with the rhythmic device called major caesura. Lines 1 to 8 form the first organic part or the first major part, where the time and space setting of the poem are highlighted. Setting as per time. When we talk about the time setting of this poem, D.H Lawrence sets the poem But at the nick of sunset, that is when it is about dark, this is the time that plants and animals, flora and fauna, have been preparing to rest for the day. So also, the water glides of rivers have started becoming calm, especially the river Arno entering the sea at the Vecchio port. Then when we talk about the physical setting of the poem, mentioning the names of places like Florence, Vecchio, Carrara, Pisa, as seen in lines 2, 4, 5, and 6, is suggestive that the poet is surveying baths in Italy, because those names, they are names that can be seen in the country called Italy. The second organic part of this poem is formed in lines 9 to 26. In this part, the poet's wildlife surveying looks as if he is appraising the bird called swallow. The bird too is as migratory as bat itself. Both birds have similarity when it comes to flying in circles and curves, like the mathematical curve called parabola, as noted in the poem. From the third organic part, that is the third major part of the poem, because we have three major parts. So the last one in the poem, we have lines 27 to 45. Here, it is discovered that the poet, in his survey, has all along been about bats rather than swallows. This clearly worsens the poet's mood, and his surveying notes begin to reel out more disgust and aversion. Therefore, it is noted that the creature of bat is ambivalent, as its nature is between a bird and an animal. It is a bird in one part and also an animal in the other parts. The bat is a creature that rarely perches to go to bed, to go to sleep, and it turns its head downward to go to sleep. It is a creature that grins and knocks its teeth together, and which produces disturbing sound at sleep. The bat is a creature with a very sickening and fear-inspiring plume, glide, uh, glideless but umbrella-like wing. The chirping of bat is ill melodious, that is, it is not that sweet to the hearing of a human being, particularly as the poet regards it, and also scary for the ears. The total dark color of the bat, that is the wing of the bat, and plume often shield lightens away. It doesn't allow the penetration of a light. The bat, according to the poet, is synonymous with darkness, and as such connected to witchcraft tendency, like the bird owl, that particular bird with a very big eyes, also can turn its head 360 degree. So wherever it perches, it can see the back, the front, side by side. The bat cannot be celebrated by a wildlife admirer. It can only be a celebrity in places possibly renowned for intangible science formulations like China. as it is seen or noted during the time of the emergence of coronavirus. So that is the structure and the setting of the poem. Now I want to talk about the subject matter of the poem. The poem Bat by David Herbert Lawrence is about wildlife surveying as it was discussed earlier in the explanation. Wildlife surveying is a typical passion portrayed by the poet until he surveyed to come across the one he dislikes, which is a bat. That is about the subject matter. Now the form of the of the poem. The poet's bat is romantic in form, and this is because the text of the poem is derived from exceptional passion of the poet. And in this sense, the poet is now trying to bring about his belief as pertaining the bird called bat. As afore noted, the passion of the poet is his love for wildlife surveying. That is about the form of the poem. So as you can see, we have looked at the short note or brief about the poem Bat when it comes to the structure of the poem, the setting of the poem, subject matter and form of the poem. Just hold on to this channel, subscribe, enable your notification so as to have the alert of more videos to come on the poem and some other poems recommended for West Africa students. Also, we are going to touch prose work and drama works. Thank you for being there.